Carla, and welcome to the living room of the studio, and also the required attire, the formal attire for New Year's Eve, jammies with a little bit of dangly earrings. And of course, that was Yvonne, aka my assistant, aka Yvonne Stampin' Studio, sitting over there at the table doing her nails. And that was her phone. So, welcome everybody. A different view than what you're used to seeing. Hold on. Let me mute the laptop over here because I don't want to listen to myself twice. So, if you had joined me last Friday when I did my live, now hopefully the lighting is okay. It looks like it's okay from what I see on my laptop. But a little bit different scenery, like I said. You're used to seeing, the Calyx unit behind me with, my Bucky and my little Elvis bear and my Elvis Stitch. But this video is not a crafting video. Uh, if you had watched my live or a few of my other pre-recorded videos that had already posted, I had mentioned that under the scheduled stuff that I had, Throwback Thursdays, the holidays, and all that, that the total of the um, videos that I would have on this channel at the end of 2024 would be 189. And I wanted to end the year with 190. The other thing, I hope that the tree is not like, causing issues on what you see on the other end. Um, it looks kind of cool on my laptop from what I am seeing. Uh, I do have on my tree a little disco ball ornaments, anything that was going to reflect the light. I love that stuff. So we'll hang that back on the tree right there. So, squirrel. So, what I was saying was, I wanted to end the year with an even 190 videos. So, this is video 190. Now, I contemplated up until the last minute, was I going to do this video as a pre record or was I actually going to go live? Because I really didn't say exactly what day, what time that I was going to do this, just that it was going to be at some point before it hit midnight Central Standard Time here in Memphis. So right now it is, bear with me, I can't see it on my phone, but it is 10:21 p.m. here. So I, being the last day of the year, I actually broke down. I trimmed my hair. I colored it so you don't see any of that gray. Not that you'd probably see it anyway because I don't have light, shining right on top of my head. I know this is going to be like a goofy type of video. Sorry. Nothing was like really pre-planned on this. Basically, um, just needed like that extra video. And I figured, okay, I decided, well, what was it that I was going to talk about? So, one of the things that I wanted to mention, and maybe, Vaughn will come in here. We can probably have like a little conversation, maybe. I promise I'm not putting her on the camera. She's yeah, she's shaking her head like thank you. No, I she made her video debut a couple of like 2 Fridays ago when I did my live. She actually demonstrated the projects, and you guys, um instead of seeing her in the chat, you actually saw her at work, and she survived it. She actually enjoyed it. She didn't come back at me and say, "Oh, I'm never going to do that again." Nope, she generally seemed like she enjoyed it. So it may happen again sometime in the future. I just don't know when. But anyway, so I thought I would talk about how this year had gone. I started doing pre recorded videos. I think it was like September 23rd of 2023. Um, it was January 26th when of this year that I started doing the lives. My decision on doing lives was going to be through YouTube. It wasn't going to be through Facebook because, I've seen other demonstrators have issues with Facebook, and I'm like, nope, that's not my game. I don't want to deal with that. Plus, Facebook had a habit of constantly changing things around, and I just was not interested in dealing with that. And YouTube was working fine for the longest amount of time. The past couple of months, though, they had done something. It's probably some new feature or whatever that they put out there that now has affected some of the settings that, we would use, and it worked fine before, but not so much now. And that's the orientation flipping to vertical when we schedule, a live. So in the past, it was so easy. I had everything all set up. All I had to do on my phone was just go live, and everything worked perfectly. And now it's like you set it up for horizontal and you hit live and it changes it to vertical. And of course, for this video, I could have done it vertical, but I elected to do the horizontal, so then that way at least you could see some of the tree. Um, the tree. And don't want to knock over. There's the star. And there's my little painting that I did not do. But yeah, that's the tree. Now, it probably would have been a little weird if I had it the way that I normally, the lights on there were the blue lights. These are the LED lights, so they're much brighter than the regular miniature lights. And I had the blue ones, so it's the same bright blue that you would see on police cars. Yeah, I don't know how that would have looked through the phone and through the camera, um, but yeah, this went up that weekend after Thanksgiving, and I say that I'll keep it up through my birthday, which is in early February, but probably by mid-January, maybe three-quarters of the way through it, everything will probably get packed up and put away till next year. And maybe next year I'll actually put this stuff all out before Thanksgiving. We'll see. See what happens. So the video, what it's primarily going to be about. Like I said, I've been doing these live since, near the end of January. And, I kind of looked at, and I, just look at how things have been since I've started doing this now. I've mentioned before in the past that I've been a demonstrator since October 2013. And at that time, when I joined, I was part of a pretty amazing team. And then I think it was like in 2018, maybe 2017. I'm not 100% sure. Um, Close enough to it where uh, my direct upline and then my second level upline, amazing ladies, decided that they were going to step away from being demonstrators with Stampin' Up. So in the end, what that meant was that now I don't have an upline. I haven't had an upline for a few years. I report directly to Stampin' Up. And so during that time, I mean, I do miss that whole family atmosphere that we had as a group. It was a sizable group. Um, but since, like I said, since they had stepped away, I've I'm not gonna say that I just basically have been on my own. I mean, I've learned a lot from them, and of course, if I had like any questions at all, they were always there to answer any questions I may have, and because the basics of everything, over the years really has not changed. I mean, the whole idea and concept on how to have like in-person events and doing videos and everything, that hasn't really changed. Some little things here and there, but so I have learned a lot by watching others and following others, and I do the same to this day. I see what others are doing, things that may work for them, I know may not work for me. A lot of them do have like a larger following and customer base and a team. So there is a lot of extra things that they can offer. I'm not in that place. I'm not even close to being in that place. So, doing things like paper shares and ribbon and embellishment shares. Like when a new catalog comes out, um, it's even offering like online classes. Where you would order like the card packets, or order the class and all that, and I would ship it to you. Yeah, no, I'm not in that place, at least not yet. I'm not. I thought maybe, since really putting a lot of work into doing these videos, at least 2 videos a week. So there was the Throwback Thursday. I have so much retired stuff. I know a lot of current demonstrators that are looking to build their business. I see that there's this little glare that's in my glasses from the laptop, and try to change it so you don't see so much of that. But I a lot of work goes into putting together the classes. So you have to come up with what, first off, what stamp set, what bundle, what suite are you going to use in these videos. And like I said, Throwback Thursday is not something that a lot of current demonstrators do, because when they're working this as a business, and this is their full-time job, uh, they're only going to show current stuff because that's all they can sell is current. If it's retired, they can't sell that. Um, I do that because I have a whole lot of it. And sadly, there's a lot of things that when they were coming to a point where they were retiring from a catalog, I would then purchase it. Then it would end up on a shelf, and then there it would sit. And it wouldn't be until I started doing these videos and started doing Throwback Thursdays that I would pull it out and find I never put ink to that stamp set at all. So doing those Throwback Thursdays, what was good about that was I was actually using the product. If it was part of a suite, and it had designer series paper, I was actually using it because I have a lot of that too. Um, but at the same time, I had, people watch the videos and comment and mention to me, not other demonstrators are using retired stuff. And it is true, and it is sad that there is a lot of stuff that Stampin' Up, if it's a mini catalog, those mini catalogs only last about 4 months. And not everything in a catalog will go and carry over into a new catalog, or now we have online exclusives, a lot of this stuff ends up retiring. So a lot of people will be, hey, I bought it, but now it's retired. So I've had a lot of people be appreciative that I am using it. I'm kind of hoping you can hear everything okay, that I'm loud enough. I'm not talking extremely loud because I'm not in the back room. I am actually out here in my living room, which I'm closer to where the front door is. So, and I know people are kind of coming and going through that breezeway. Also, it's kind of quiet right now. Um, as we get closer to midnight, now it was already happening like about an hour or so ago or 2 hours ago, where they were already starting with the fireworks. And evidently, there are some people on this property that are setting them off because it sounds pretty loud. And the sad part is, it's not just going to be fireworks. Somebody's going to probably be shooting off a gun, which, I'm sorry. I said something to the leasing office to ask them if they can do an email. Not that it would probably matter because nobody pays attention or listens to things like that. But, at least put it out there saying that it's not acceptable. Residential areas, no. So then one of the other reasons why I don't go anywhere on New Year's Eve. So hoping I can get through this and all of that noise, you won't hear any of that. It won't be on the video. So like I was saying about the video, so I had a lot of people who watched the videos and commented and said that, no other demonstrator is, using the retired stuff. They'll say, I got this stamp set, thank you for doing this because now it's given me inspiration and now I want to go and pull it out and play with it again. So that's been, there's been positive feedback about that. So with Throwback Thursday, that's not something that I think is going to go away. Like I said, it's given me the opportunity to use this stuff, plus other people are appreciating that I'm bringing it out. I also do like a monthly Christmas card inspiration video, and actually, uh, there will be one posted at 5 a.m. actually, well, more than a few hours. So January 1st at 5 a.m. Central Standard Time, I do have a monthly Christmas card inspiration video that's coming out. Now, the whole idea about that particular video is I typically do those like on the first of every month. And I create two simple cards that are duplicatable. This is to give you inspiration throughout the year if you want to make your own Christmas cards. And of course, if you want to make a lot, if you do a little bit throughout the year, then, by the time December rolls around, then, you're all good. So, um, along with that, one of the things that I was going to do, that I had planned to do, uh, for in person, those that are local to me here in Memphis, was to offer, hoping that there's enough light here, um, was to have like a monthly get together, which I called it like a Christmas card club. There was no fee to it. Basically, you supplied your own cardstock and paper and embellishments, and then you came here and you were welcome to use my stamp sets, punches, dies, that type of stuff. But, I've had people comment to say, oh, it's a great idea and all that. But of course, the people that would say that were not local to me. And unfortunately, it just did not seem like there was anybody really interested. Now, I thought maybe, Christmas was over. So when I started it from like February and, go all the way through November, I figured, well, after we got a few months in, maybe there'd be interest. Then there really wasn't no interest. And I figured, okay, well, maybe when the holiday catalog came out, people would be interested. That really wasn't the case. So there was really nobody reached out about wanting to come to those. Now, I will say that, you know, a lot of the stuff that I had done, whether it was in person classes, doing that monthly Christmas card club deal, Yvonne was interested in that, and she would be here for that. I mean, she would be here. I'm not gonna say every weekend, but she would come and we would do some crafting and all that, but really there was no interest in it. So instead of constantly putting in my newsletter that I was doing it, that Christmas card club, I kind of stopped doing that. So there was that. Then there was monthly in person. So when I was going to do that Christmas card club, um, I figured, okay, that would be but for people that would be local to me in person, where we would get together. And then I thought, well, kind of offer something along the lines, online, meaning by doing that video to give you inspiration. I mean, nobody ordered any product or anything like that from me. It was just me creating two projects that, would give you inspiration to make them. So those two kind of coincided with each other. Then when I was able to do lives, now YouTube, if you're going to do lives through your cell phone, you need to have at least 50 subscribers before you can do that. So when I decided I was going to do these videos, it basically wasn't until I think January 26th in which I was then able to do live. So I started doing that. Now, in the beginning, I didn't have many, people online with me while I was live, but over the months and over time, it's increased on viewers, and a lot of people have returned, which I'm very, very appreciative of. Actually, that evening, like 2 Fridays ago, when I had my guest stamper, Yvonne, I kind of um, manned all the comments that were going on in the chat, and so there was a whole lot of conversation and interaction, and it was a longer live, but it, the consensus was a lot of people enjoyed that. So that will happen again. I don't know exactly when, but it seemed like it went over well, so we can do it. We can do guest stampers in the future. What else is there? So Paper Pumpkin, I subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, so every month when that kit would show up, I would create, the projects that are in the kit, at least like one of each of the projects. Now, what's nice about that, I don't have to prep anything on that. It's open the box and basically follow the instructions and put things together. So I don't have to do the work like I would do with the other videos. I was also doing special holiday videos. So like for example, this year I did Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and the only reason why I did Christmas Eve was to increase the number of videos to get me, by the end of the year, it made it 189, and I figured, I could wing out 190 by what I'm doing right now. So on the holidays, I would create like three projects that was based around that particular holiday. What else did I have out there? Um, excuse me. My throat's getting kind of dry, and I think my water is sitting over there. The thing is, I started thinking about what I'm going to do for 2025. So, all that stuff that I told you about, oh, and the other thing too is, like I mentioned, I do a newsletter once a month. And so, when I would do that, a lot of work would go into what would get put into that. So, like all the videos I do, I would list out the products that I was using for that particular video. So that way, I mean, I knew what I was working with. And of course, everybody else kind of knew too that was subscribed to my newsletter. Now, what am I going to do for 2025? So, I started really taking a look at what's happened in 2024. I will tell you that, doing all these videos and, the in person classes, that it is a lot of work. So, on top of that, I mean, this Stampin' Up! Is not my full time job. I have an 8 to 5 Monday through Friday job. And I mean, I'm very fortunate that I'm able to work from home. So I don't have to deal with the stresses of driving to and from and all that. Um, but the thing is, a lot of times when it hits 5 o'clock, I'm kind of tired. And sometimes I just don't feel like I really want to like make more cards. But I needed to be consistent and get the stuff done. I mean, ideally, I would want to get it done early and in advance, and then it's all done and scheduled to post on that particular day. But that wasn't always the case. Sometimes, knowing that I was under crunch time, to get it done, there may be nights where I went to bed extremely late. Going to bed extremely late is just not good. I mean, I seriously need to be getting more sleep than what I get now. Um, but what happens, doing all of this content, I mean, it is tiring, it is a lot of work, and I will admit there are times where I feel like I'm a bit burned out and I just don't feel like doing it. But there's people that kind of like look forward to seeing it, so I would carry on and I would do it. So I started thinking about, these past few days, is there anything that I can do to kind of lighten up the load of what I'm doing? So there's a couple of things that I decided that I was going to stop doing. Some things that are kind of like on hold, so there may be sporadic here and there. So let me discuss as far as video content goes. So I will still continue with my Throwback Thursdays because there are people that appreciate the Throwback Thursdays with the retired product. Plus, like I said, it's given me the opportunity to actually use these stamp sets that I've never used before. I spent the money on it, might as well, use it. Um, of course, my Friday night lives, those are not going to go anywhere. Those are still going to happen. As of right now, they'll remain at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on Fridays. I don't see where I need to actually change the date or the time because it seems like it's been working okay so far. I mean, if there's something that happens on a Friday that, a prior commitment or something that I have to do, I still provide that Friday night kind of live. So I'm actually doing like what I'm doing right now. I'm kind of pre recording it, I'm doing it as a live. But it's unlisted, so nobody knows that I'm doing this live right now. They'll see it when I'm done, and then I flip it to public, and then everybody can see it. So I've done those in those events that I'm going, like out of town, or there's something else going on. I still have the content there. So those aren't going to change either. Paper pumpkin, those only happen once a month. And like I said, what's nice about those, everything's already done. The card bases are already pre-scored. You have things you punch out. There's only a little bit of stamping and all that. So those are going to carry on. I mean, though, like I said, they're just a once a month thing and everything's already done. The monthly Christmas card inspiration. Okay, again, those are only once a month. It's only 2 cards, so that will continue on. And like I said, I have one that's going to post tomorrow. Well, in a few hours, well, more than a few hours. It'll be 5 a.m. on New Year's Day when that will end up posting. Actually, I did that earlier today, so we finished work early. So I had the cards already planned, everything worked out. So I recorded that, and that's all set to schedule to post at 5 a.m. So those won't go anywhere. Let's see, what else is there? Oh, holiday videos. So those special holiday videos that I would do, I decided that I am going to do away with that. And the reasoning for that is I thought, well, instead of creating an extra video with projects that were geared strictly for that holiday, I thought, well, I can do a holiday video per se as a Throwback Thursday or even a Friday Night Live or a combination of the two. So by eliminating that, that's one less, type of video that. Before you sit down, could you do me a favor? Could you pass me my water? It's like I didn't want to get up. Then you see me get really close in this camera. Okay, thank you. So let me take a sip of water because my throat's getting a little dry. That red wine that we probably had earlier is probably a reason for that. So, so the holiday videos, those are going to go away. And like I said, holiday themed projects, well, like for example, Christmas, I had done so many videos between like Thanksgiving and actually Christmas that I used Christmas stuff. So again, because I did it with Friday Night Lives and I also did it with my Throwback Thursdays, again, there's really not a need to do an actual special holiday video. So there's not going to be a special holiday video for New Year's Day. So I eliminated that. But what I'm going to do, what I would have used for my holiday video for New Year's Day, I'm going to actually use that for my Throwback Thursday because the bundle I'm going to use is Light the Sky. This was one that was in our holiday mini, I think, last year, and it carried over. This is the one that has the fireworks in it, and then it has the dies that look like, that kind of cut out, fireworks and all that. So that I'm going to use for my Throwback Thursday because when our last chance list went live, I think, when did it go live? Last month? Or earlier this month? I don't see. This is bad because I can't remember, and it's recent. That's not good. Um, though that bundle, it was listed in the online exclusives that ended up on that last chance list. And I can tell you that I know that the stamp set had already is gone. As far as the dies go, I don't know if they're still available or not. They may not, or they may. I didn't check the list, before I did this video, so I can't say for certainty. If you go into the online exclusives on the website, in the online store, uh, you will see everything that's on there. And if you don't see it there, then that means that it's already gone. So again, the holiday videos, I'm gonna eliminate those. As far as other videos, I think those were the only ones that I was doing. I mean, there were a few, pop-up ones I did, like when back in March when we did On Stage in Houston, every evening when Andrea and myself got back to our hotel room after the events of the whole day and evening were done. I just did a little quick video to say, okay, hey, this is what happened today. Here's the swag stuff that we got, for Prize Patrol and all attending giveaways and what was in our swag bag, and basically the people that we met that day. So there were a lot of demonstrators that I follow that are, you know well known with the company, that got to meet in person, which was pretty awesome. So other than that, I mean, that's pretty much the videos I had. Oh, and then there was World Card Making Day. So that's kind of like a special one. So that, again, that only happens once a year. That's the first Saturday in October. So that won't go away. That'll happen again next year. So for next year, the holiday videos are gonna go away. And I think that was the only thing was going away, was just that. Uh, let's see. Now, in-person stuff. Like I mentioned earlier, I was offering that monthly Christmas card club, and again, there was no fee or registration fee or anything like that to be part of that. It was just simply, the card stock you would use for your card bases, your paper and all that, and your embellishments. Those were the things that you would just supply. And what did it have to be stamping up? No. These are your cards, so you can use whatever it is that you want. I was just offering to let people, use the stamp sets that I have, and, punches and dies that I have as well, because as far as Christmas stamps go, I do have quite a bit, and it's a whole variety. There's religious, there's, like your snowmen, snowflakes, and Santa Claus, and Christmas trees, and so just a whole variety of different sets. So again, there wasn't no interest. Like I said, when I did a video and I talked about it, a lot of people commented, oh, that's a great idea. Unfortunately, they don't live near me, so, they wouldn't be able to attend that. So because there was really no interest in it at all, I've decided that, okay, I'm not gonna do that for 2025. Now, can something change at some point during the year, where maybe somebody would have an interest for it? Then maybe I will address it again. But for 2025, I'm not going to worry about it. As far as in-person classes, now I was offering these once a month. Like I said, I had one class where I literally had a full table, so there was like 6 of us. Another month, I may have had like maybe 3 or 4 people. I think 2 other times there, and now I'm including myself too in that count. There were at least like 2 times well, 3 times where I had 3 people, including myself. But other than that, the day, those days I was having class, Yvonne, she she, I mean, she was dedicated. She was here for all of them. Again, when it comes to class, doing the in-person classes, it's just as much work as what I do for a Friday Night Live. You know, it's not only the projects, 3 projects, but I also create the PDF with the pictures and the list of supplies and dimensions and all that in those PDFs. So when there's really not much interest. Now, at one point, I was asked if, you know, if I do in person classes, this was earlier in the year. And when I said yes, I was doing it, unfortunately, that first one, things came up and it's very understandable and all that. But after that, I really didn't have anybody reach out, asking if I was doing any classes. So with that, as far as classes go in 2025, there may be one here or there throughout the year. I know that on World Card Making Day, I will have an in-person event for that. But as far as doing one every single month, uh, that I'm going to kind of step away from. And like I said, if I have anybody who inquires if I'm doing it, then I am more than happy to go and put together a class for maybe either that month or the next month. It all depends on the time of the month when I'm being asked about it. Uh, what else? Um, The newsletter, yeah, the newsletter is going to go out. That newsletter is something that I do. I think like the first Tuesday of each month, Stampin' Up lets us know what the 2 new kits are going to be that they're adding to the kits collection. And so I like to wait till we know what that's going to be so I can include the pictures and descriptions and everything of what those 2 new kits are. Sometimes, with the newsletter, typically I'll only send it one, that one time a month, but a lot of times when special promotions happen, like say free shipping or something, we don't know about those until just a couple of days in advance. So at that point, I may send out another newsletter just to let people know. Um, so that's a lot of stuff that I would say that I am doing on top of doing my regular Monday through Friday job. Like I said, this year, it was a lot of work that went into doing like all of that video content, all the class content. And I can tell you I have a massive amount of cards as a result. I had started, I think it's been over a month now, maybe 2 months, maybe longer. I've actually been doing in my Friday Night Lives, I've been doing a wheel of names and choosing people to win one of the cards that I made that night. Now, sometimes if I don't have that many people on while I'm watching, yeah, everybody may end up with a card, not only the cards I made that night, but also I have the sample cards. So that's been one way to kind of cut back on how many cards I got. I have a lot of cards, a lot of cards, cards I've made when I first started as a demo and all through the years just basically by playing. And I have boxes of cards. So it's going to come down to me just kind of packaging them up and giving them away as gifts. And that people appreciate that too. So it's just that I've gotten to a point where, like I said, a lot of work goes into it. I get it. I understand, things don't happen overnight as far as all of a sudden, you got a huge team or you have a huge customer base. I get it and I know, I mean, things have been hard, prices of everything, have gone up. These past 4 years, you know, we saw things increase in price. Now, I'm hoping things are going to get better, you know, but at the same time, I can't expect, that people are going to take their money and they're going to use it for crafting stuff because, you know, when you the reality is that, you need that roof over your head. There are other bills you have to pay, food that you need to put on the table. So, not everybody's going to look to take what little they have to spend it on craft stuff. And plus, there's a lot of demonstrators out there. Now, anybody who orders through me, you don't have to be local to me. Basically, anybody in the United States can order through me. But at the same time, there are a lot of demonstrators here in the United States. And so, you know, it is what it is. Um, I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to still do the videos. Yeah, I hope you didn't hear that. Sounds like they're going to come through the ceiling. But I'm just going to basically offer that stuff, kind of, eliminate a little bit, maybe by eliminating some of that stuff, it frees up some time for me, where I can do some other things because there are other things that I enjoy doing. I like doing counting cross stitch. That's what I did way before I ever did rubber stamping. Um, I also like doing diamond painting. I like just doing crafts in general. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I would like to be able to do other than card making, to be honest. So, when I find that this is all I'm doing, I don't have really the time to do anything else. And of course, then there's other life things that, I do as well. I mean, like once a month, on a Saturday, I clean my church. So, you know, I just, feel like I don't want to be, working so hard that I don't get to really enjoy doing other things and just kind of like relaxing and just kind of chilling. And yeah, so I mean, if anybody ever wants to know if I'll do a class, if you're local to me, I mean, reach out. I mean, I can put one together. That's not a problem. It's just I'm not going to have a set one planned for every single month because again, I'm creating, these projects and everything else and it's a lot of work, like I said, building this as a business, this Stampin' Up! Business. I mean, in order to build it, in order to, have that customer base and, and a larger team, you have to put the work in and it doesn't happen overnight. But I just found that by really working this for a year, and very little has really happened. I mean, I'm gonna still keep on with it. I'm not going anywhere. I'm still gonna be a demonstrator. I'm just, cutting back a little bit, just so I have time to just, especially going to bed a lot earlier than I have been because, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, tonight, honestly, I'm from New York, and all my life, what I cared about when it was New Year's Eve was watching the ball drop in Times Square. Now I know that'll be 11 o'clock my time. Which what time is it?
11:06.
I just missed it by 6 minutes.
Oh,
I have to watch that because to me that's New Year's is watching the ball drop in Times Square in New York City. Have I ever done it in person? No. Too many people, too cold. No. I think they said there were like 1 million people attending that tonight. That's a lot of people. That's too many people. I don't need to be around that many people. But anyway, so I'm pretty sure that when it hits midnight here, yeah, I don't think I'll be going to sleep anytime soon, because even though it may be quiet right now, it's all going to hit the fan as soon as it hits midnight, between the fireworks and the gun shooting. Yeah, the one thing that I do not like between 4th of July and New Year's. I'm all for fireworks, but I want the professionals to be doing it, not someone who's probably either drunk or high and messing with fireworks. They don't go too well together. Just saying. So, with that, I'm seeing that I have been on here for 51 minutes giving, but letting you know basically what I am changing up for 2025 in regards to my video content and what I'm doing in regards to my Stampin' Up! Business. Let me see, is there anything else at all? Okay, there is something. So, like I said, this is New Year's Eve. In less than an hour, it will be New Year's Day. It'll be 2025 here in Memphis. Let's see, today Australia was already into 2025, and I missed the ball drop by a few minutes, which I'm going to have to go back and watch, which I definitely will. But I do want to say this for all of you who have subscribed to my channel, for all of you who join me in the chat when I do my Friday night lives, those of you who watch the replays of those lives, those of you that watch, the pre-recorded stuff I do. So between the watching and the subscribing and the likes and the comments and the shares, every bit of that helps. It helps with, YouTube getting my videos out there for more people to see. And it helps overall, all the way around. I mean, I'm not close to being at a place where, my channel is monetized. You need at least 1,000 subscribers for that. And I was at 544 when I started this live. I was at 545 a few hours prior to that. What's up with that? But then it could be YouTube playing games too. I don't know. But anyway, so I've been going here for about 54 minutes. Mouth is feeling a bit dry. But yeah, I just wanted to come on, create my video 190, and just kind of let you guys know what it is that I'm going to change up for 2025. So like I said, I do have a video completed, my monthly Christmas card inspiration, where I'm featuring the Christmas Friends bundle that is from our current holiday mini. Both of those are on the last chance list, and when I did that video a few hours ago, both items, they were discounted and they were still available. They weren't on low inventory from what I saw. They were still there. And so that will post at 5 a.m. Then for Thursday, It will be Light the Sky. That's that bundle that is now, I know the stamp set is gone. So I don't know if the dies are still available or not. So that is going to be my New Year's video, I guess you can say, for my Throwback Thursday. And then on Friday, I will be live at 7 p.m. in the studio, not here on my couch in the living room next to my Christmas tree. I will be back there and we'll be using the Nests of Winter suite. That's a suite that's in the Holiday Mini, and actually, all that stuff is going to carry on past the catalog and most likely will be in the online exclusives. So again, in my lives, what I do at the very end, those of you that are still with me, I do a wheel of names for those for 3 people, or maybe everyone, depending on how many people are on there, to receive that free card from me, that I made that night. And in that case, it doesn't matter if you're in the US or not. Cards I can mail wherever. It's just the Stampin' Up! Product I can't send that, to another country, only those like in the US. So I hope that you'll be able to join me. If you can't join me live, of course, there is the replay. And I do want to say thank you to all of you again that have been following me, who have, like I said, joined me during my lives, have watched my pre recorded stuff and watched the replays of those lives, who have commented, who have shared, who have subscribed. Thank you so much. It's it's all of you that has kept me going in doing this now. And I'm, like I said, I'm going to still continue to do stuff. It's just I'm going to cut back just a little bit, just so I have, I don't feel so like overwhelmed or tired, more tired for doing more work. More work. So thank you, everybody. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas if you celebrate Christmas, and Happy New Year. I will see you in 2025. Bye bye, everybody.